Ladies and gentlemen, speculating here. Fox News viewership has dropped 50%. Okay, that's within just a week or week and a half or so after Tucker Carlson. They fired Dan Bongino, also another great host on Fox. They don't really care about Fox News. They have sports. They have other divisions of the network and cable network that they make money from. They don't need Fox News. Okay, they have Paul Ryan and others, never Trumpers who are on the board of directors who run Fox News. The Murdochs, I don't think, are that fond of Trump, or at least they care about media and they care about power and influence. They believe that the never Trump, they believe that not telling the truth or not speaking outside of the mainstream fabricated, contrived consensus is more lucrative. Let's put it that way. So the influence that they want to, utilize is within a paradigm of thought. Anything outside the paradigm, Dan Bongino, Tucker Carlson, anything outside a manufactured, fabricated, coerced, contrived paradigm of thought, a mainstream that, God forbid, you can't think out of. Even though it's interesting, almost half the electorate chose Trump, okay? Trump had 70 plus million Americans. So you can't, if the mentality is, well, MSNBC or the Washington Post or New York Times are mainstream, well then why did almost half the electorate go with Trump? Okay? There is no real mainstream in this country anymore. There is a desperate attempt at silencing Trump 24/7. Even Fox News eventually will just fold, and they'll let go of, eventually, because they'll have to, Sean Hannity. Okay, because Sean Hannity will eventually, somebody has to take the Tucker Carlson mantle, or, somebody has to replace him, and Sean Hannity could very well be that person. I mean, he's been there forever, but there's going to be a moment where Hannity has to speak or convey the same viewpoints as Tucker Carlson, which is that the country is descending into economic turmoil and a foreign policy catastrophe because of certain reasons that the Fox News, the people who run Fox News don't want to address. Tucker Carlson was too effective at addressing the reasons why the country is failing in terms of foreign policy and economic policy. Eventually, Sean Hannity will have to convey those viewpoints, whether it's after 2024, let's say Biden or Hillary Clinton, even with the foreign policy catastrophe we see in Europe and elsewhere, even with which was directly linked to Biden's foreign policy. Okay? People just shrug their shoulders and throw their hands up in the air. Well, it's not Biden's fault. 100% directly related to Biden's foreign policy. When you come in and you don't want any peace with a former Cold War adversary, that's what happens. Okay? Even Macron wanted some kind of, there were European leaders that tried at least to prevent the hostilities and the invasion, okay, in Europe. Then you have bank runs, you have a terrible economy with inflation through the roof, real wages are down, and we have a stock market crash on the horizon. An actual, the only reason we haven't had that terrible crash that I've been telling you about since 2021, and 2022 was a devastating year in the market. I called that. But the only reason we haven't had serious bank runs, market crashes, because we've pumped so much money into the economy. It's like inflating a balloon, okay? But the balloon has a number of, patched up holes, and so anyway, the economy is terrible. At a certain point, with inflation, bank runs, a possible Democratic Party victory in 24, you might say, well, how is that even possible? Well, the system that we have is based on public relations. Okay? Sean Hannity eventually will have to address that. And his message is a little more toned down than Tucker Carlson. But eventually, if you're too effective, you're out of Fox News. Eventually, he'll get to the Tucker Carlson level of being as effective and being able to communicate those thoughts. And when he does, when he becomes like Tucker Carlson, they'll let him go also. Eventually, they're not even going to have a Fox News. It's too much of a liability for that gigantic, for News Corp or for the Murdochs. So, Fox News, then you'll have Newsmax, then you'll have other options, okay? Because that's a huge market, okay? A huge market, but they don't care about. The thing is, the never Trump Republicans who have zero influence in the Republican Party, and Hannity is kind of like never Trump and populist at the same time. The never Trump Republicans don't care about endless wars. Trump, Marjorie Taylor Greene, all these people that Democrats despise do not want endless wars or military conflict. That is the main reason why Trump is such a menace to democracy, okay? When you look at like MSNBC pundits and CNN pundits, and they're pontificating, and reporters, and there's just this hornet's nest of apoplectic indignation. What is the reason they don't like Trump? Well, his foreign policy. He wants to bring home Americans. He doesn't want endless military quagmires. That's the basis of the discontent and disdain and vitriol towards Trump. Then everything else is, oh my God, he said this, he's a bigot, all this stuff, okay? Biden says worse, does worse. Demographic groups that Democrats demand vote for them are doing worse. Everyone's doing worse under Biden's America. But the issue is that he plays ball just like Paul Ryan or Mitt Romney or a never Trump Republican, Lincoln Project. He plays ball with foreign policy. So Sean Hannity has no problem with a hawkish foreign policy. Eventually, though, he'll probably have to remain relevant, he'll probably have to become more of a Tucker Carlson. They'll fire him when they go ahead and eventually end with Fox. Right now, it's a liability because what Democrats and media do, they're very good at leveling like lawsuit after lawsuit. They said that about Trump, that Trump used to do that. Well, now they're doing that, and they're accusing people of things they never did, especially Trump. Trump was accused of things he never did before. And that's it. He was never a Russian operative. Fact. That's a fact. He never was. The intel agencies are routinely wrong on major issues. The Bay of Pigs, Gulf of Tonkin, WMD. Okay. Trump being a Kremlin operative. So that also, when you question the way the political system is run in our country, like Tucker Carlson did, you're then going to be a liability to a corporation that runs Fox News. Fox News itself is probably on the way out in a couple of years, okay? They don't care if Newsmax or others get that market share, okay? The reason is because they're done with people who are never Trumpers, and like Fox, that corporation, they don't want the hysterical media meltdown. That comes with lawsuits, and that comes with, it's just not lucrative. It's a lot of headache. And Trump doesn't care. Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Rand Paul, Ron Johnson, Matt Gaetz, all of these people are Trump Republicans, but they don't care about the media. Tucker Carlson, whether he's a Trump Republican or not, he's a populist Republican, or has a populist viewpoint on things, okay? The populist viewpoint is an anti-war viewpoint. That's the basis for the discontent. And that'll be the reason that Fox News eventually, because the Fox News, like CNN and MSNBC, enjoys, or they want the chaos and mayhem in terms of foreign policy. They want a miserably failed foreign policy. Okay, it's more lucrative for them. A populist Republican network would be against that, or at least Tucker Carlson would be against that. Eventually, Sean Hannity will, and he'll be out too. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. I'll be back in about an hour. Thank you.